from the vault, high atop the pastoral center of the Diocese of Camden, you're listening to Talking Catholic.
Hello, welcome to Talking Catholic, the official podcast of the Diocese of Camden. I'm Pete Sanchez, staff writer for the Catholic Star Herald newspaper, with Mike Walsh, Director of Communications. Mike?
Yeah, and if we sound a little different today, it's because we're in a completely different location. Our first time, I think, recording from a church, from the inside of a church.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, and you may get some unusual echoes because of that. And we are also with 9 young adults with us today. So who knows if that'll make some additional things. What was that noise?
There was a count. You know, Sesame Street, he goes 9. 1, 2 counts, and then it goes, Just doing that joke.
I'm glad I can rely on you for the dad jokes. That makes me very happy.
I don't know. The count's awesome.
No, hey, I'm not disagreeing with you, and you nailed it. I just had no idea. It was so far to left field, I didn't even know where you were going with it. But that was perfect.
Maybe you should have done it, though, because you were the one doing the counting.
Good point. Good point.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Up. So we're broadcasting today from St. Michael's Church in Atlantic City. This campus we've actually been to a number of times for both the podcast and professionally. But matter of fact, I was here just, last Friday before? And then we were down here again yesterday for the wedding, or I was down here again yesterday for the Wedding of the Sea in Atlantic City, which was outstanding. Once again, it was beautiful weather. First time, I've been waiting for it for the 3 years I've been with part of the diocese, but as part of the Wedding of the Sea, the bishop and the mayor of Atlantic City get into the back of a lifeguard boat and they are rowed out into the ocean. And every year I thought, because I take pictures of it, I think that would look so cool if somebody got jettisoned out of the boat as they were breaking over the waves. And this year it almost happened. The boat hit the waves and literally went almost 90 degrees. The bishop's lower back was in the water, was how far that thing went up, and then it came slamming down. I jokingly said that the mayor of Atlantic City had his arm around Bishop, and I couldn't tell if he was helping to keep the bishop in the boat or if he was hanging on to the bishop for dear life, hoping he didn't get kicked out of the boat. But I ended up getting some great photographs, some quality. You know, if you're from the shore area, they have lifeguard races all summer long, and that was a Sports Illustrated quality moment of the bishop and the mayor going up over the breakers.
My gosh, was
nice.
He okay? Did you talk to him?
I did. Aside from being soaked to the bone, he was good. But we say it every year. It is a outstanding event to come to if you haven't been to it. I'll poll the group here. Did anybody make it to the Atlantic City's Wedding of the Sea yesterday? Were you all there? You were all in the gray shirts, right? Yes, they were all there. So we'll talk to them about that too. That was nice. And by the way, whoever designed #John Kalitz the shirts for this year, or was it Jose that did them? It was John Kalitz, one of our colleagues at the Catholic Star Herald and the communications department of the Diocese of Camden, made excellent T-shirts this year. I was very happy with them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They were great.
How do I get one?
I didn't even think about that. We should have snagged some T-shirts. That's a good idea. Maybe for putting these guys on the podcast, we can get T-shirts out of it.
Sounds
a little graft.
Good.
There you go.
Like we got in addition to the Wedding of the Sea, we got a lot of other events coming up in the next couple of weeks and months.
So
just as exciting. Well, we have the Tagalog Filipino Mass and Fellowship on Sunday, August 26th, starting 2 p.m. at the Catholic Church of St. Mary, 2001 Springdale Road in Cherry Hill. So it's in collaboration with the Filipino Apostolate. So come on out to this Mass, and then there'll be festive dishes, nice meal afterwards. Bring your family and friends. Call the Parish Center, 856-424-15454 for more information on this. And next month we have an exciting event, the Diocesan Pilgrimage, Marian Pilgrimage to the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C. This is Saturday, October 13th. Come see the new Trinity Dome mosaic. It's about every other year the diocese does this, where they send, it's basically all day, pretty much in the Basilica. There'll be concert of sacred music, procession of parishes, the Holy Rosary, opportunities for confession, and Holy Mass in the Upper Church with Bishop Sullivan. So contact your parish office to register. because parishes usually send buses. That's how I've gone. So contact your parish, tell them you want to go on the pilgrimage, and if they have a bus, or call 856-939-1769. And then, Mike, we had Deacon Anthony CEO on the podcast recently.
We did.
And talking about how to man up for the first ever men's conference, Man Up South Jersey, going on November 10th, 2018, and the conference center at Paul VI High School, 901 Hopkins Road, Haddonfield, New Jersey, 08033. A variety of speakers. Just come out, all men of all ages. If you're fathers, sons, brothers, come on out and just spend time with your fellow men and this Man Up South Jersey.
No, it's going to be a great event, and we tell everyone that it's an all ages event because we're really hoping that men from across the diocese will be comfortable to bring their sons, their brothers. For someone like me, my father, to bring me around, even my 93-year-old grandfather who just had a birthday 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Grandpa. But I'm trying to talk in Instagram, do an Instagram Live at the same time, which I'm finding I'm better at this than I thought I was. But I'm going to stop now because I'm getting distracted. All right. Anyway, it's a great event, and I've been part of the team that's been putting it together, and it's going to be really spectacular speakers that are going to be there. And one of the reasons we're putting this together is because it's been shown that adult men have a very difficult time embracing their spirituality in today's very secular culture. Studies have shown that women seem to be more adept at it, but men have a really difficult time coming together and feeling comfortable discussing God and their role in the world and what they need to be doing to become better men, better husbands, better fathers, even better employees and employers. And this is kind of an event. I went to the one in Philadelphia called Man Up Philly in the late winter, and it was great. I mean, the people who were there, I've never seen 500 men all together in a room become just unified as the event wore on. So it was really, for the people who were there that were really moved by it, it was very intense and incredibly rewarding. So about 3 months before that, Bishop Sullivan had decided that it would be a good idea to host one of these in South Jersey. So we're bringing it to the people. So I hope people will avail themselves of it. We have a few fellows here with us today that, who knows, maybe we'll see them at it on November 10th. But it's a great, and there's a student rate, so if anybody wants to come, it's cheaper. And come to think of it, I think I have a coupon code somewhere that I can probably give out at some point in a future podcast and let people get a discounted price. But anyway, yeah,
that's good.
We should. I hope people will consider going to it.
Yeah, I hope so too. We got also coming up in September. Can't believe we're talking about September already.
What are you talking about? We just talked about November.
Well, we're going back in time now, Mike.
Okay.
Before we got a DeLorean.
Okay.
I'm sorry, everybody. Trying to put all these things together, these notes, skipped over. So September 29th, we got at Paul VI High School as well, the Catechetical Convention. Walk With Me for adult catechists and teen leaders. It's a one-day conference for parish, school, college leaders of all ages. Young people of high school ages in grades 9 through 12 are welcome. So dynamic national speakers, interactive service project to help the poor, faith fund, and tools for discipleship are all on tap for this. So you can come on out. The cost is option 1, $65 per person, or if you're bringing a group from your parish, it's $50 per person of a group of 5 or more. Again, this is September 29th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Paul VI High School. Walk With Me, Catechetical Convocation. Register at http://ffl.camdendiocese.org.
I love it when you are very specific about giving out a URL address that you'll include the HTTP beforehand. That's nice. Be thorough, Pete. Never forget that. That's how you make sure you don't have typos in your written word by being very accurate.
Well, all this info can be found on the camdendiocese.org there's a little calendar on the right-hand side.
Right, which for the rest of us, you can just do a Google search and find that. Camden Diocese. Boom, right to the website.
Yeah, you don't have to say http://
Or,
www.
for that matter, for those of us who are even more inclined, just go, hey Siri, Camden Diocese website.
Oh, that works?
Yeah, it works.
Cool, okay. Can you do Hey Siri Talking Catholic?
You know, I haven't checked that. I bet you could, though.
I think we could, Mike. Well,
wait, is that the end of the intros?
Well,
we're only 10 minutes in. That's
10 minutes
the
in?
shortest one we've ever had, or at least in the last month. That's nice.
Well, I think we should get to the guests.
That's because we know we have a heart out with some of these guys. So
yeah,
they haven't had dinner yet, so who knows what their energy level might be. But I always feel bad looking at the kid say that. I gotta laugh. All right. So anyway, who are we with and why are we here?
Well, we're here. It is the week of Summer of the City in the Diocese of Camden. It's been, let me ask, I'm here, Greg Coogan, Director of Youth, Young and Old Campus Ministry. Greg, just a quick question, how many years has this been now for Summer of the City?
It has been in existence for over 25 years. It's a week-long service immersion experience for high school teens in this Atlantic City, but also it has moved around to Vineland and Camden.
Oh, that's awesome, Greg. Well, so we're here with youth and mentors, and Greg, who are serving this week in Atlantic City for the week, helping out and service projects.
Let's go around and introduce everybody. So Pete, why don't you pass on your microphone?
My name is Ben Gerardi. I live in Mullica Hill, and I go to Gloucester Catholic High School.
Nailed it. I told everyone to remember their biographical information. He got it. No, on the first shot.
I'm Grace McGlinchey. I live in Berlin, and I'm from St. Simon's Dock Parish.
I'm Chip Wimberg. I'm from Northfield, and I'm going to be attending Catholic University of America next year.
Chris McGlinchey from Berlin, also St. Simon's Dock Parish, where I'm the current youth director.
Okay.
I'm Dominique Visco. I live in Somerdale, and I attend Paul VI High School. I'm Nguyen. I live in Cherry Hill, and I go to Cherry Hill East.
Excellent.
I'm Adam Stetser. I live in Gibbstown, and I also go to Gloucester Catholic.
I'm Nneoma Ngeng. I live in Lindenwold, and I go to Paul VI High School.
I'm Jared Cruz. I live in Williamstown, and I attend Our Lady of Peace Parish.
All right, nailed it. That's good. Now, I'm not going to remember any of their names because I have no memory skills of any kind. But I'm curious, sort of going down the line. Actually, before we do that, Greg, can you give us an idea of what Summer in the City entails?
Yes. So it entails the program is based on 4 pillars, and the 4 pillars, as you can't see, but it's on my shirt.
The great T-shirts of Summer in the City.
There's 4 pillars. One is service. So in and around Atlantic County, we're being men and women of service, working with and for the poor. We're living in community. So that's another pillar, that we live, pray, serve in community, and all that entails. We talk about Catholic social teaching or social justice. So we unpack gospel living. And fourth, spirituality. The pillar of this is a deeply Catholic program, and so we pray in the morning and in the evening. We celebrate Mass together, and we remember the men and women who go before us and the spiritual traditions that our church shares with us.
So I'm just curious, going around the room of the young folks who are here, how many people have been here multiple times? Anybody, this is your first time? Okay. So starting with the folks who have been here multiple times, in your previous years and now that you're here again, what is it that being a part of this opportunity sort of has resonated with you? Like what made you want to come back again?
Just the atmosphere. I mean, it's great. The people here, we all love each other. We all, when we pray together, I see the smiles on people's faces, and just when we go out and help the poor, all of us just seem to be really into it. We just are in this good, happy atmosphere.
Somebody else raise their hand that wanted to? No, what? There you go. I knew it was somebody over there.
I'll speak as an 8-year veteran. I think that I keep coming back because I'm seeing the future of the church, like right in front of me, and I was that little kid 8 years ago, and now I get to watch all the other kids become that.
So how old were you when you came for the first time?
I was 15.
Wow. And now, as sort of the veteran of the crew, I'm going to assume you're the oldest one here right now?
That I am.
Okay. As someone who's been doing this for 8 years, and, you see the future of the church, in what ways, as a veteran, are you sort of like helping folks down that path and like making sure they're experiencing this to the fullest?
I try to be as hands-on as possible. I think that the kids that are here, they want to be the future of the church. They want to be involved. And there are always holdouts. Some people don't. But by the end of our time together, I think that a gentle nudge in the right direction, they figure it out for themselves.
Well, I like that, and I don't know if you did it last year as well, but I like that you're using the faith crack that I often refer to. As we pulled up here, the CFR sisters were outside with all of the kids, playing a variety of games with them, and what impressed me was I pulled up at a little after 6 o'clock. It's a very hot day. I'm sure you guys have been at full tilt since early this morning. And the energy level was so incredibly high. And then I look at the sisters who have the most engaging smiles you've ever seen in your life, and everybody gravitating around them. I wouldn't have been shocked if it was 9 a.m. when I came in. So I'm curious, Greg, how are you able to match the energy of the young people you have here? Because that's a lot of youthful energy that you have surrounding you.
Well, it's somewhat difficult, but certainly I'm here because I want to help our faith community design a transforming program for young people. It's geared specifically for young people to be the head, hands, and heart of Christ in around our diocese. Yeah. And Pope Francis continuously is asking us to go out, and so we're being missionary disciples out in South Jersey, in nursing homes, food pantries, soup kitchens, the Father Benedict house, along the boardwalk, and it makes me proud to serve the young people of our diocese in this way.
No, that's great, and I we've certainly, Pete in particular has written about this a number of times, and every time we've written it up, and certainly the social media posts that you've put out, they inspire me. We knew we were going to touch on this a little bit, and I'm not necessarily putting any of the young kids on the spot, but we're recording this the same week that the Pennsylvania grand jury came out regarding the priest abusers, and for all Catholics that has been a gut punch at every level. It's a time period that we look at shamefully and shamefully of the leadership of the church, and for many folks shamefully of themselves for what they didn't do or what they did do, and then the incredible pain that we feel as Catholics because of the victims and survivors who went through that in the case of Pennsylvania over 70 years. And people will look at me and they know I work for the church, and how do I get through it? And this is how I get through it, is because there is an authentic generation that's following us right now, and seeing them smiling outside and knowing that they're in a better place, they're better situated now than their predecessors were before them. I really do have incredible faith, and it's not because you, and I'm looking at you right now as I'm telling you this, it's not because of something that's come from the top down, but it's because of something I see in each of you innately, that there is a fire of Christ in you, and you've been a part of all the best things that are about the Catholic Church, and it certainly is apparent to me that you've embraced those things, but more importantly, you're looking to improve on those things, whether you realize it or not. I'm sort of speaking to you right now as opposed to interviewing you, but I really want you to know that we have incredible faith in all of you to do a better job than any of us did prior, and I'm thinking that my successors hopefully had that feeling for me, and 20 years from now, when one or any of you are in my position or other positions of leadership in the church or elsewhere in society, because of what's happened before us, you've been a part of that lesson learning, that you'll never have to worry about something like this again, because you won't let it happen again. So, I'm sort of saying this to you and giving you marching orders, but at the same time letting you know that I have incredible faith in all of you. But I just wanted to really bring that up. And so I think, sort of switching gears a little bit to our newbies who have joined us, our two new fellows. What was it about this program that you heard about that made you interested in joining up this year?
Well, I heard from I knew some friends that have been going for a while, like 3-4 years, and I thought if someone would go to like service camp for 3, 4, 5 years, then there must be a reason for coming back every year. So I wanted to try it out myself.
I personally heard about it on a retreat I was on, and I just thought of it as an amazing opportunity. And now being here and almost finishing my week, it is one of the best experiences I've ever been on, and I'm glad to have shared it with so many great people.
That's excellent. We like to hear that. It sounds like, Greg, that this program, I'm assuming this program has grown over the last several years in terms of attendance.
It has. So when I first started serving the diocese 7 years ago, we had about 25 young people give a week of service. Now between these 2 weeks, we also held one earlier in the summer. We have over 75 young people who are giving a week of service.
That's really incredible. Let me ask maybe one of the young women we have here today. What has it been like for you in terms of the service projects themselves? Are there any that you've really gravitated to as liking or been moved by? Okay, any of you can grab a mic. Just take it away from the boys. I don't want to hear from them.
I think a service site that I felt moved by was the Sister Jean's Kitchen, just meeting a lot of people and all of them coming as a community and just sharing a meal. It was really nice to see, and how happy they were to see us being there and serving them was really nice.
I'm curious, how comfortable were you with interacting with the people who were coming in?
At first it was a little uncomfortable just because you don't know what's going to happen. But once you're there for a little while, you start to get more comfortable and start having more conversations with people, and it gets better. So,
did you feel like sometimes as we walk along the earth, that there's a natural detachment that happens where you might move to the other side of the street when you see someone who looks like they've had hard times or something like that, or you're walking in the mall and you get this creepy feeling or something like that, just because you see someone who looks like they've gone through tough times. Did you feel like that opportunity to really get to know someone and see them on a human level and interact, sort of maybe altered your idea about interacting with people you don't know?
Yeah, for sure. Because you start to realize that everyone has their own story. And if you are a little more detached, you won't really find out what happened or what their life has been like. So it's nicer to talk to people and see how what their background is and how they were before and stuff.
That's great. I still struggle with that even in my advanced age of 46. That detachment, and not that I'm actively trying to stay detached from people, but there's a natural inclination to be closed off. And I'm glad you're all getting the experience to figure out how to get over that. How about you?
A place that has touched me the most would be Adelaide's Place, because it's a place for just women to go and feel safe without any men there. It's just a place that they can go and know that it's like home. It literally looks like a house for them, and they can go any time of the day and just feel like they're at home.
And where's that located? Greg? Adelaide's house? Where's Adelaide's house located?
It's about a block. Sorry about that. It's about a block away from right here on Mississippi Avenue. It's they actually do not publish the address because it is a day shelter for homeless women here in Atlantic City, many of whom are trafficked or are fighting demons in their own life, and it's a safe place for women who find themselves on the streets of Atlantic City.
That's great. Okay.
I really don't think that I have like a specific place that sticks out to me. Pretty much anywhere that I get to interact with people, I enjoy more than anywhere else that I don't. It's just really like inspiring to hear the actual stories and actually speak to the people and know like where they came from and how they got there, and it's really kind of amazing sometimes.
That's great. You know, we brought up the sisters earlier, and regular listeners of the podcast know that both Pete and I have a particular fondness for the sisters, and I'm assuming you guys have had an opportunity to interact with them a little bit. Is there anything sort of in their faith background or in their mannerisms or in the manner in which they live their faith that has sort of touched you at all?
I think it's really great that they believe in God so much, and in the way that they act, they just love to spread God's love through their actions.
And they do it in such a pure manner. I was here, I think we talked about it on the last podcast, that I was here when they did Light the Fire, which is their street evangelization, where they get folks from around, the Catholics come down to go to Mass, and there's an adoration, and then afterwards they go out and they evangelize on the streets of Atlantic City, just going up to anybody and learning their stories, like you said before, and just asking them to come back and pray. And me being a jaded Catholic PR guy, thought, what do they get? 5, 10 people to come back? No, like there were 50 people, 50 Catholics here, and half of them went out, and 100 people came back. There were prayer candles set up at the front. There was no candles on the table when I left to go out with my camera and take pictures. And by the time I got back, the table was full. It was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. And I think for a lot of us Catholics who live in suburban areas, that's sort of a concept of going out into the street that we're not comfortable with. But the sisters and the friars like them, the CFR friars like them, have such a comfort with it that I sit in amazement of it. And I'm glad to see that their personalities have come across for you too.
Isn't there, speaking of the sisters, what's going on tonight here with... It's a big deal tonight, right?
Tonight they are doing a burning bush ceremony, I believe it is. It's my first year, so I haven't really experienced this, but what I have seen by the setup is there is a big kind of fire-looking thing. It's made out of wood, and there's candles all around, and I believe they're going to be lighting that tonight, and all of the people involved will be around it praying on their knees.
So this is my 5th year here at Summer in the City, and it's basically a wood structure with a whole bunch of candles on it, and on top will be the monstrance and the Holy Eucharist. So we will all be kneeling in front of that for adoration for a short period of time.
Yeah, I'm curious. This the week seems to be, and Greg sort of mentioned this earlier, is there's a lot of aspects of Catholicism that you see, the kneeling in particular and the praying. That's there's a spiritual aspect to it, and the service aspect of it as well. I'm curious for all of you, and I'm going to go down the line for this one, and we'll start down here. In terms of those 4 elements that Greg spoke of earlier, the spirituality versus the service and versus the other elements, the education, the catechesis, what really speaks to you with this event?
I think it would be service, because just going out and just making a difference in one person's life can really make your day and that person's day too. And that's just a great feeling.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the service. Obviously, like outside of Summer in the City, it's easier to also have the spirituality aspect, but the service is a little bit tougher without it being organized like this. And I think just having the opportunities to do the kinds of service that we do is really, yeah.
That's great.
I would also have to say service, but not only because we're helping just the people on the streets, we're also helping the people that help the people on the streets help make their life easier. Joe at Catholic Charities, he's one man and he's in charge of so much, but if we just go and we empty bags out for him and we help look at expiration dates for him, that's a 2-hour job for us, which would have taken him 3 to 4 days. So just to help him with something so simple as that, it just feels good.
That's a great perspective. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you.
I would have to say that the spirituality aspect of this week actually speaks to me the most, because teens, I think, don't really know how to be spiritual like on their own outside of here, and then you learn some things from your parents. Most feel that they're forced into it probably, but once you come to something like this and you get to like figure it out for yourself, you really start to connect with the reason that the church does these things, and just how beneficial and therapeutic and great that they actually are.
Very well said. Thank you.
I would have to say service, because helping out all week at different sites and places, it's so heartwarming and refreshing to know that you're actually going out and doing all the service stuff instead of just saying, I'm going to help the poor. You're actually hands-on doing everything. And it's nice. It's a good feeling to have.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I would agree with the service. I think that's pretty important, because just seeing how one small thing can make such a big difference is really great. Like being at the rescue mission, sorting clothes may not be the best thing, and hands-on is definitely great, but sorting clothes for the homeless goes a long way. And I think in a way that sort of changes your perspective in spirituality in a way. So I think that's a really good thing.
I would have to go with service, because just the one thing you can do could brighten up, like they said, someone's day or someone's week. And I don't know if I was going to take Jared's thing here, but when we went to Our Lady's residence, Jared walked around in a shark costume for about 30 minutes to brighten up the old people. And when he came back, they said they were all smiling, they were all laughing, and that all made their day. Like, they were just happy for the rest of the day.
I don't know if this is one of them, but the community aspect, being around like all other people that are here for the same reasons as you, and just coming back after going to all our different service sites and like sharing all the stories and all the people that we affected. It's really nice to like share and talk to other people that are doing the same thing as you. Yeah.
That's great to hear, because for adults, the community will often be the hardest thing to recapture, and I'm glad that you have this opportunity. We were talking about the events that are coming up soon, and we had talked about this Man Up South Jersey that's coming together. That's that feeling of community that you're going to find as you get older is more difficult to keep together. For someone like me who's got fires all over the place that I'm putting out, I'm oftentimes on my own, oftentimes driving an hour drive to come down to Atlantic City and interview some other people, when I was just up in Camden taking care of some other issues, and I had to pass by my house to get here. But I'm really happy you said that, because you're absolutely right. A sense of community is incredibly important in our spiritual well-being, in addition to the service and spirituality.
I'm going to combine two of the pillars, if I may. But I have to say both service and spirituality, because serving out in Atlantic City kind of also strengthens my spirituality. And being out there, especially in Our Lady's residence in a shark costume, you see the smiles on these people's faces, because they don't get this all the time. And it really strengthens you and opens you to what you really are missing on, what you could be doing on your own time. And instead of doing this on a Summer in the City event, you can be doing this on your own time at your local nursery. And it really opens your heart to being more spiritual and more closer to God.
I was just going to say, what you were, this idea of community. I've been fortunate to cover Summer in the City the last couple of years, and you guys, the young church gives me hope and strength. It's one of the things. I was at NCYC last year with some of you, and it was awesome. Just such a great experience, and it's nice to see it continuing, and this just it gives me so much joy to be here. Like, this week is just joyful, and like you were saying, Mike, to have this energy now, that it could be 9 a.m. energy.
Yeah.
Great.
Although I think if we don't get these guys fed soon, they're gonna fall over. They're starting to look a little hungry, and I know we
don't want a hangry.
No, we do not want a hangry
guys.
group. That may be a completely different kind of situation for Greg to have to deal with. So do we have just a few more minutes, Greg, that we can stay together? Okay. I had two final questions. One, how many of you will do, I think you said you did a retreat earlier. How many of you do retreats or other kind of service throughout the year? Any particular examples that you want to share with us of things to sort of keep the sense you get this week sort of alive throughout your youthful times?
At my church, Most Precious Blood Parish, we have like annual retreats for like during Advent and Lent, and the youth group runs that, and it's just a way to keep all the youth together.
That's great. I'm very happy to hear that, because I think some parishes sometimes forget to do that. Is it just for young people, or is it for young people and the parish at large?
Yeah, we normally have like a kids track for kids who haven't gotten confirmed yet, and then like an older kids track for confirmed and up.
Oh, that's great. I'm very happy to hear that. Anybody else that either retreats or service or seminars? Okay.
Like Pete mentioned a little bit ago, NCYC, I've done that twice now, and that's a really great opportunity. We traveled to Indianapolis and just get to be with thousands of kids our age that believe in God and have a very strong faith. We don't do necessarily community service, but we all strengthen our faith and learn more about God.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that as well. Anybody else that wants to talk?
At Our Lady of Peace, we're very blessed to have a very active youth ministry, and our youth director, Carrie Janice, really has so many plans throughout the summer even, and this Sunday we're actually having our first semi-formal dance. So it's very fun throughout the year, but also I've been blessed recently to be able to be a part of a lead team for some retreats throughout the year now, so I've been helping out with that, so it really continues my service portion.
That's great. That is our a past and future podcast guest that we've had on, Carrie Janice. We love Carrie, don't we, Pete?
Yeah.
She's one of the good ones. We have a lot of good youth ministers, and she's one of the best. And I guess my last question, Pete might have something else to say, but what would you say to a person, a young person, say a 14 or 15-year-old who seems like, or they're not sure if they'd be interested? What would you tell them to encourage them to come to this week?
Okay. So I would just tell them not to be afraid, because it can be something a little bit unsure of what you want to do. It really is a challenge. I'm not going to lie. It's very hard, especially some of the things you do. But overall, it's very worth it, and what you end up doing and the feeling you get afterwards just fills you with so much joy.
I know I invited some of my friends this year, and what I told them mostly was that although we do like some hard service things, at the end of the day, it's all really fun to do. Like, you're having fun while you're helping people out, and it's really nice to have that good feeling after you're doing something that may be challenging, but you're still having fun doing it. So
I'm going to be honest, my first year doing Summer in the City, I was kind of voluntold by my mother to do Summer in the City.
Your mom, whom I happen to know, would do that? I can't believe that.
Yeah, honestly.
That's so
right?
surprising.
Unbelievable. But after the first day of just being there my first year, I just felt extremely at home. And after doing all the service projects, I just had to keep coming back every year. It was the amount of happiness I would feel after the week was just incredible, and it's so rewarding just to see smiles on people's faces when you make their day.
And now you'll know that when you're voluntold in the future, it's a good thing, right? You'll never resist it now.
Possibly.
I think I would say that you'd have a really great time, and it's really life-changing or perspective altering in a way, because just seeing that one thing makes at least one person really happy is a good thing. And
I lose my train of thought all the time. Don't let it worry you. Things will go mid-sentence. Things will pop out of my head. It's terrible. That's okay. If you remember, we'll come back to you though.
Okay, so just like Adam, my mom told me I had to do this, but this is my 3rd year now, and I don't regret coming. And it is life-changing, and it gives you a different perspective on the Catholic Church and our faith.
Excellent. 8 years in, what would be your recommendations?
As the elder of the group, I would say, first of all, I've been there. It was the same way. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I wasn't exactly excited for it my first go around. But now looking back, and I think I realized this very early on, probably just after my first year, don't fret, because this is cool. It's cool to do service. It's cool to pray with your friends. It probably sounds pretty odd on paper when you're 14 years old and you're looking into this thing, like you're going to take a week away from my summer, best beach days of the year, to go do community service. But it's actually cool. This is one of the most wonderful things that you will ever be a part of.
Did it pop back in again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's also something to say that we live such a great life back at home, and there's so many people in Atlantic City that don't have what we have, and it's just great to help them out and experience something different in our lives.
That's excellent. I'm glad that popped back in again. That was an excellent thing to say.
I
Oh no, we have a cough attack over on the side.
All right, just give me a second.
Did it pop back out again? No, it'll come back.
Well, I was lucky enough to have a brother, Chris, who has been doing it for 8 years. He was 4 years in when I started doing it, and I'm 4 years in now. And so I kind of knew what I was getting into, but I was so excited because he would talk about it and make it sound so fun. And I mean, I wasn't really sure if it was as fun as he made it sound, but it definitely is worth coming and is definitely all that he made it to sound like.
That's excellent. And our last guest. Oh wait, I'm sorry. That's right. We skipped you because it popped out of your head. I'm sorry.
So similar to Grace, my older sister did this the year before I was eligible to do it, and she came back telling me about such a great time she had, all the people she met, all the great things she's done. So I knew that I had to really come out here and do it myself. I came out here and met all these great people, great faithful people, and the next year I came back and brought one of my friends. So it's just a great place to meet amazing people.
That's excellent. Thank you. Now our last guest.
I would just say why not, because only good can come out of this experience. And for people that might be like, I don't know anyone, I had no idea who was going to come. I had no idea if my friends were coming, nothing like that. And I don't really know anybody sitting next to me, but I feel like it feels like family here. So
that is an excellent way to end the Q&A. Pete, did you have anything else?
No, just thanks for the pleasure to be here.
Yeah, this was great for us. We really appreciate that. Thank you for sitting with us. And to our listeners, thanks for checking out the podcast. This was a really good one. And I, for one, was very, very pleased. And like I said earlier, you are the reason that I am very comfortable in my Catholicism. And so thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you, Greg.
Nah. Yeah, keep up the good work, Greg. You're okay too.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys in prayer.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, listeners, and thank you, young folks. And this has been Talking Catholic. And Pete, I think are we going to be down here again next week?
Yeah, we'll be here talking. That's exciting.
We're talking to the CFRs next week, right?
Oh, you just spoiled it.
It's not.
Good job.
It's going to be on the podcast listing. They're going to know. But now they'll have something to look forward to.
Yeah. Should
There we
check
go.
out these two. Yeah, back in Atlantic City.
All right.
Love
and
it.
as we always ask, don't forget to rate us on Apple Podcasts. And by all means, contact us through our Talking Catholic Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages. And let us know, and I mean this sincerely, if there's somebody in your community that you think should have the spotlight of Talking Catholic on them, please let us know, and we will definitely reach out and interview them. We're always looking for interesting people to talk to. So thanks, everybody, and have a good week.
Thanks, Mike.